So let's talk about why do people set goals? You shared a list with me, and I love it. So share those points that you were.
I'll read them pretty quick. And obviously, we could do a podcast on one of these. That's the hard part. Is there's so many deep dives. So I talked about trigger behaviors. Kind of helps guide our focus and protects us, I think, from being distracted. It's so easy to. I don't know what you have on your phone, but it'll tell you how many hours you were screen time.
Yep.
When you look at that, sometimes you're like, well, was that productive?
Yeah.
Or was that just gallivanting around with what people sent me?
Sure.
Versus me looking.
Yep.
And my ratio of what I looked for versus what someone randomly sent everybody is not a very good ratio in my opinion. So I think there's momentum that goals can bring us. Like what's my next thing? There's it develops a hunger to push yourself. Like, well, if I did 20 push-ups, maybe I can do 30 next month.
Sure.
So there's like a gradual. It definitely increases productivity.
Yes.
Which is what we kind of are wired as. Like, I want to get good things done that God wants us to do.
Yes.
And avoid the waste. Not that we can't have downtime, watch a movie or take a walk. Those are all good pieces of keeping us sharp. But I think the other part maybe is direction. Like I can get distracted to, well, that looks good too. Maybe I'll take a cooking class. Okay, But you're going to have to give up something.
Yeah, the goal will keep you.
There's an exchange, you know. So those would be a few of them that I have deducted myself, more than watched other people, which it's easy to pick out, that person doesn't have discipline. Well, it's not about discipline. It might just be how do they get to the next level.
Yep. Yeah. And that is a part of, like, when you say, I want to improve in this area, part of the goal setting is to say, well, how can we make that a little bit more specific? How can we make that something that we can measure? You can't just say, I want to get better at, and how do you know that is better? Like I used the joke with somebody once. They said something like, well, I want to make more money next year. Can you be more specific about that? And they're like, what do you mean? I said, well, if you get out of your car and you're walking across the parking lot and you found a nickel on the ground, technically you've met that goal. You have more money than you had before. So can you be more specific? And I think the goals, when you work on those, help you to say, I have to say no to this because it's taking me away from staying focused on this goal.